right, everybody, welcome to the Friday session. And we have a bit of a doozy here today, don't we, guys? We have up markets 0.4, 0.45% across these futures after a bit of a strange session yesterday. We'll be talking about the key levels to be looking at for the SP 500, Nasdaq, and of course, our looks into the crypto universe as well today, because I still think things are pretty hot there in some ways in terms of there's some great levels to be looking at. We have some commodities to go through and, of course, our favorite stocks. Guys, how are you going for Friday? Are you ready? Are you ready? Scott Morgan loving the puffy jacket. Oh, man, it's cold for some reason. I'm feeling cold here, guys. It's all good. What is going on? Just reading some of your comments. Excellent. Looks like a lot of you are ready to get this started. Started off right. Bradley B says, jacket is on. It's getting real. Tom looking like a bear. That's right. That's what happens when you're on day 70,000 of lockdown. So I've got up here a few interesting things. This is obviously the QQQ. I've got that straight away for you guys because we always like talking about the Nasdaq. And what I wanted to show you was, of course, what we discussed yesterday, which is volume profiles. And we were talking about key levels. Whoa. Holy moly. 1 second. We'll answer that. We'll get over to Charles in a second. I see you, Charles. Let me just do the QQQ, but we're coming back in 1 sec. My God. All right. Give him a clap. My goodness. Let's just quickly go back over here. So we want to check out a few levels. Notice how if you actually look at the volume profile, right around that 380 is exactly where you get that huge amount of volume ticking. That's also where you get that indecision. Now, it's not a coincidence. Obviously, I like the price action either way from the resistance at the 382, which is 15,700, or, of course, down here at the 15,520. I like both levels. But isn't it interesting how much price has gravitated to that 380 on the QQQ? And you can tell that from this. And if you're interested in doing it yourself, I will do a video about it, probably coming next week when I get some time. You can actually do this, select fixed range, chuck it on, put it to the current price, and then it will show you over that area where the key zones are. Often that will come in with your key technical support and resistance as well. So it's a really good way of just cross-checking some things. All right. Now we need to get over to, my God, Charles Gibby, 100 US dollars. That's like $1 million Australian dollars. Coffee money. That's a lot of coffees. Thank you very much, Charles. Says, coffee money as promised. Scaling Rklb is not as easy as scaling a fish. We'll have to look at Rklb in just a second here for you, sir. Thank you so much. Let's give him a clap, guys. That is an amazing donation. It's probably up there with, I think, the second biggest we've ever received, actually, after that guy that accidentally put in the wrong one. I remember that still. He was in the wrong country and he put in the wrong amount of kronas or something. Poor guy, but it was pretty funny. All right, so we've got the range here. Everyone can see we have the lows, we have the highs. We're going to open around 381, it looks like, and we'll be talking about this midpoint here. It is an interesting zone, and we'll talk about it as we get closer to the number. Let's have a look at Rklb. Rklb, that's Rklb. Now, check this out. So this is the power of scaling. I can see why Charles is very, very happy, because Rklb has been on a literal rocket ship. And I think what probably Charles has found with this scenario, we obviously spoke about it off stream a little bit, is that he's practiced the idea of he might have profit targets. Let's say he had a profit target here, but he also knows to follow the trend. And when you're following a trend, you're thinking about that idea of scaling out. Now, remember, if I go back to a horrible lesson learned about Bitcoin when I sold it back all those times ago for $13 like an idiot, imagine if I did what my smart friend at the time did, where he sold a third at a price, he sold another third, and he kept the final amount because he had that long-term plan on it. Now, I wouldn't probably be here talking to you guys right now because I'd be in the Bahamas, and I wouldn't be locked down in Australia. You know, it'd be a great time. But that is not the reality. So this is that's when I learned about scaling. And yes, not easy, especially if you come from a trader background. Some people, new people in the market can hodl like nothing else. But once you've been burnt once or twice hodling, once you've been burnt, it can be hard to hold that scale. So congratulations, sir. And I do wish you the best in this one. It was awesome. We've also got a new member coming in here from, it's what is this? Little TTV becoming a new member. Thank you so much. Appreciate that as well. Thank you so much, guys. All right, let's have a look at this US 500. Let's take a look here where we are. So we're coming in at 45.13. As per expectations, we've kind of got that 45.20 mid zone here. This is really the area that we expect the market to get to have problems around, and then to reverse. Yesterday's session, where did we go to? We went to around that 45.30. So I guess we could also have that as our peak if we were looking for it today. We get up 45.30. We see any resistance come through here could present a short for the Friday session. Obviously buying around that 44.90, 44.80 area where the 20 moving average is on the daily. So we've got the two really great zones. I guess you put both of them in here. And yeah, resistance, support in the middle at the moment. If you're looking at buys and sells throughout the day, these are going to be the two key levels I think that you'll want to have on your charts. Remember, it's Options Friday. Next week's Quad Witching Hour. Next week's where the real shenanigans begin. But I quite like these two levels. I actually don't mind them at all. And I'd still be looking at that 45.20 as well for potential reversals. You get a little shooting star here. You get a little engulf here. You see some reason that might short off. You could take that. Or, of course, if you get that break past the 45.30, you could be looking for the 45.50. And someone messaged me today and they said, Tom, I've been trading within the range this week like you told me to on the Nasdaq and the SP500, and I've won 8 of 8 trades because I recognized that there was a range. Yes, good work to you and congratulations. We also have a question coming in from Lil T. It says, hey ho, happy to be here. Can you take a look on the AMBA? We certainly can. We'll keep going through some of these and then we'll get into those stocks as well. Again, massive thank you to Charles Gibby. Appreciate it, Charles. Thank you very much for your support. So we've got key levels. I think I like covering these indices at the start of the show. Then we go into, of course, the cryptos and we talk about those. But I like all these levels. I think there's going to be some potentially good trades that are coming off all of these. And if we do end up closing above the 45.30 for the session, I really could see this actually breaking high next week and then coming back down. But I do want to bring in one thing. We'll bring up the SPY quickly. So obviously made a video today talking about the option strikes next week. Take a look at these strikes, guys. Look at all these calls sitting around that 456 to 460 range. So many retail calls. Retail calls everywhere. Now, if you've got a lot of retail calls there, what is the best thing that Wall Street can do? Make them expire worthless. So we could even remain range bound or at least potentially not really push through these highs next week as well because of how many calls are sitting around these strikes. So continue to watch that. If you don't have access to trading ticks in our private community, 7-day free trial down below. You can also go to Yahoo Finance and go through all of the different strikes for the SPY, the QQQ, etc., etc. That's always going to be a good one. We're going to cover the PPI report. Yeah, it should be already out, shouldn't it? We'll have a look at it in a second. Look, these reports, I mean, realistically, some of them make the markets move around, but you could almost not even know what's going on, and you can just follow the price action. And if you do that, you'll find it's actually easier. In currency, following the price action, you don't really need to even understand what the central bank's doing because you won't be able to interpret it. I always say number one thing when it comes to following the stock market is you follow the government money and you follow the Fed. And really, if you're investing, that's all you really need to do. Follow the government money, follow the Fed. The government money comes in dribs and drabs over time, and it tends to have a longer curvature than people think. So the curvature, it doesn't just start and then end, and then 2 days later after the market's gone up, a little bit, all of a sudden it's all over. That money continues to flow through for years and years and years, and it tends to have that really nice curve on the back as well that the market doesn't price in immediately. So I tend to like following those two big bits of news. Chillax does not like them in terms of the figures at the moment. And then YOLO Boy says there's 170K puts open on the QQQ 350p on November. So these are the puts that are sitting on the QQQ. Let's just see where that would be. So 350 all the way down here. Very, very similar to that other one. Let's have a look at the percentage. How far away would this be from current price? Yeah, it's incredibly consistent with what we would expect in a normal correction. Normal corrections around 8 to 10%. So what you want to do as an astute big brain person out there, you always want to focus on where are these puts and understand that the puts will usually be at key technical levels, and it creates what we call a put floor. And when you have a put floor with a key technical level, that's the zone that you want to focus in on. And if things do happen and things do pull back and you're not watching this stream or you're somewhere else, remember always in the back of your mind, where are the put floors? Do they make sense to the current technical analysis levels I'm looking at? Whether it be Apple, whether it be the SPY, QQQ, or of course something else. These are the things that we want to be looking for. So it's a good point. Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll keep going through at the moment. We'll go to IWM. We'll quickly scroll in here. Obviously, this is a credit selling dream in both ends here. Many people have made a lot of money, I'm sure, selling credits. You can see this volume profile is showing that middle zone's been where most of the trade's gone, and it makes sense. You've got the two, kind of extreme levels, and then you've got the chop in the middle. We are just above the chop. So we've basically got resistance, and then this is theoretically the support. And you can see today 225. If you believe in the IWM, 230 is the resistance, and then past 230, obviously 233. We've been correct on that one so far. And if you like it, that's what you're looking for. Today, you're looking for a close above this zone here, which is 226. If you get above that, you've rejected basically what is a rejection candle in itself. And you're saying, you know what? That was a fake move yesterday. We're ready to move higher. And at that close, if it goes above here, there's a high statistical chance it goes towards that 230. Because what it's doing is it's taking out all the shorter stop losses that are behind this candle and then converting those into buys, etc. That is what happens at those points. We'll move into Tesla. Tesla here, 760. Very good. Happy with that. Anyone trade Tesla yesterday in the chat? Any of you guys trade Tesla? It's kind of all around. Nothing much going on. The day before, beautiful trade. Still think that's good. And I'm still hoping for that big 780. Can we do it today? It's very possible that it gets done. Come on, bring us to the 780 land. That's what we want to do. Let's have a look at the flow map. You'll notice there is a decent amount of options expiring at 760 and a pretty big put floor coming in for next week at 720. Big put floor, 720. And in the future, incredible big options coming in for October and November. So people are starting to get fairly bullish here on the Tesla side. All right, let's do Amber. And then we'll go into crypto. And then we'll go into our general thoughts on a whole bunch of stocks. And I'll read your chat as well. AMBA, Amberella. AMBA. Up 6.31% yesterday. Oh, this thing is rocketing. Great breakout, but obviously news related. So it would have been very tough to get into this one. Look, it's running off news. I don't know how good the news is. I wouldn't buy it here unless you have some particular reason you want to hold it for a long period of time, but it is ramping fairly quickly. So yeah, breakout from this point led to buying advance. The moving averages still haven't even caught up with it, but we've seen a 1 hour 20. I'd probably follow it by 1 hour 20, the way I look at it at the moment. Keep looking for higher peaks, higher troughs, higher peaks, higher troughs. If you get something like that, that's when you'd be bailing, at least in the short period. When it turns around, it makes a lower trough, lower peak. That's going to be the big bad bear in that case. Andy Pandy, $2 says, how far can you see Mina and Luna going on the crypto space? We'll take a look at that in a second. And also, I got a message yesterday. I believe there was somebody that I missed their super chat, which was Reed. So I'll do your one, which is AGL a little bit later. We'll get that done. Don't worry. Have a look at Mina. We'll do Mina for you. Mina. I assume they're on all-time highs. Yeah. You can't really tell with these. how long they could go for or anything like that. You can only say, okay, have they stopped so far at key psychological levels? So that's a complete guess because you don't have any previous history. The idea of TA is you use previous history, previous psychological zones, recognize a certain trend that is with the trader or the investor in that type of stock or crypto, and that's how you really figure out the next levels for it. But in this case, it's just follow that trend and hope it keeps going, man. That's really all you can do with both of these. I would say, again, 1 hour 20 is probably one of the better things. And again, you need higher peaks and higher troughs. And only when it changes that sequence, like it would do here, should you be like, starting to think about getting a little bit of a bailout, maybe taking a portion off if you don't believe in it as much. Look at market capitalization for similar projects. That's going to be another thing that you'll want to do. And it will go for Luna as well. Reese Dillon, Australian $5. Can you do Matic? It looked like it was forming an inverse head and shoulders on the daily, but dumped after faking out this week. Yeah, so Matic was an interesting crypto. And this is the story. I'll tell everyone here the story of crypto. I'm going to teach you guys the easiest concept, which I told you the other day about crypto. When a crypto is hot, such as one over here, when Matic was running really, really hot a long time ago, when the market dumps, it's actually the one that you want to be buying the dip the most of. And the reason why is it has that price memory, that hype with it, and everyone's got it on their watch list. What tends to happen is this coin goes instantly up and often gets close to the last peak over here very, very quickly. Then you want to dump it, okay? And I don't care what you say. You say, oh, Tom, because it's the best coin in the market. I don't care. The reality is big brain psychos out there. What they're going to do is they're going to say, this Matic just dumped and then went up 150%. And then I can buy Bitcoin, which hasn't recovered yet, or I can buy Ethereum, or I can buy another coin that hasn't recovered yet. So much cheaper, take profit here. And I'm seeing a bargain over there. What would a human do in that situation? Guys in the chat, let me know. What would a human do in that situation? Also, thank you very much to the 800 people joining us for today's Friday session. There's a lot of big bombs I think we'll be putting off today in terms of knowledge. 800, thank you very much. If you do smash the like button, it does help us out. So with Matic, we'll get the chat to answer us. But with Matic, you said you thought it was forming an inverse head and shoulders. What time frame? Like 1 hour or something? Okay. I assume you were talking about this, and this, maybe. I mean, there's nothing I'm concerned about with the chart. It's finding that support. And it is buying off, and it looks like it's trying to go for a new high. I mean, I'm not really hating the chart. I think it's okay. I don't know if I'd call it inverse head and shoulders. Stop probably looking too much for patterns and start thinking about reading the price action, reading the story that it's telling you. Remember, a pattern is a story. A double bottom is a story. A head and shoulders is a story. It's not about the pattern. It's about what the price action is telling you about the market momentum. We get too pigeonholed into an idea of, oh, I found the perfect cup and saucer. You know what I mean? Or cup and handle. The idea is that you want to be thinking about, what is this pattern telling me? In essence, it's telling you a story, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just the story has to be compelling. So that's what I'd be looking at. Closure above all these massive amounts of moving averages would be ideal. You want it probably above like $1.50 psychologically, close above $1.50, and then you can move towards that 160, 180 kind of area. Nothing bad here, but yeah, that's what I'd be saying. DVO official cup and saucer, lol. Yeah. Hey, people have the Bart Simpson pattern. Come on, you got to agree that patterns can get ridiculous there. Scott Morgan says, Tom, will you show us the trade ticks data on a particular stock if we super chat the request? Why not, bro? We can do that, Scott. But you can just get a 7-day trial, Scott, and then just use it yourself, man. Massey doesn't like Tesla. Oh, my goodness. Tesla is super cheap, says AFLM. So, yes, that is Possibly correct. Possibly correct. And Laurie says, thank you so much for your videos. They have helped me tremendously. That's excellent, Laurie. I'm glad. Hopefully you are practicing scaling. We love scaling here in the community. Look at this. Look at the crypto come down here a little bit. Look at the crypto. So again, we repeat, if a market is hot and a crypto is super hot, let's go to Phantom here for a second. I was talking with a friend about this. If market is hot and a crypto is super hot, what tends to happen is when it does crash, Solana, Phantom, doesn't matter, it crashes quite a lot, but it comes back like so fast and then dumps straight after that. That's what we call the classic dead cat bounce. And it will usually happen with price memory stocks. If you're seeing even a stock, it's the same thing. Let's say a stock's really hot. What's really hot right now? I'm just thinking. I mean, well, it's like in terms of a big stock. I mean, Moderna's pretty hot. Tesla sometimes can get hot. Let's say Tesla's really hot and it's had that big run up, and then the rest of the market, the broader market, falls. Do you think that Tesla will try to return back here and actually outperform the market when the turnaround happens? Now, you won't think that because you'll be like looking over at JP Morgan shares and thinking, oh, they look tasty. There's a bargain over there in those JP Morgan shares. They've continued to go down and they were down before and now they keep going down. Which person will win? The Tesla trader that buys the dip on that market correction when there was a lot of heat coming into it, or the JP Morgan person over the next couple of weeks? Who do you think actually wins in terms of that performance gain? Laurie, $5. Thank you for all your knowledge. No worries, Laurie. Appreciate your donation as well. JBS says, take profit and buy the discount, or hold forever and just watch like a zombie. Or don't watch and close your account and forget about it. Wish I did that once with crypto. that would have been pretty good, wouldn't it? That would have been pretty good. But then that fateful day, I ended up. Barack says JP Morgan. Wid says Tesla. Absolutely. Tesla will be the one that has the stronger recovery because it came in so hot. It's got that what we call like market memory, and the market memory turnaround is very, very strong. And that's but what will often happen is it gets back to this peak and it will sell off after that, because then people go, oh, well, it's back at its peak now. Might as well take some profit and I'll rotate that back into JP Morgan later on, or, whatever it is. It's just an example to show you. So that's a good one there. Let's have a look at Bitcoin now. Let's take a look at these markets. So I actually kind of feeling a little bit of double dip action here, and I'll tell you why. And it's probably due to this. All right, let's go down to the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so we've got a low. We've obviously got the shock low. We've got a low. We've got another low. We've got a low and a low. And what happened here was we had a peak. We had a trough. We had a lower peak. And then we've got a lower trough, and now it's weakening. Once it gets through this zone here, which is what, 45.5, 46 kind of area, and it closes below this area, I feel like crypto could actually dive a little bit more here, and it might even come back down to this level. Now, I wouldn't be concerned necessarily. I think that's quite normal. If it does get underneath this zone and close, I feel like it could get here. Now, if it does get here, I hope there's buyers. This is where I expect the buyers to come back in full force. But it's not unheard of that markets like crypto will come back down to these supports and they will test it again. Remember, we're not in an excellent crypto market. We're not in a long-running beast market. We're in a big sell-off that's almost unheard of in terms of having a big recovery. So the sentiment is not as good as it once was. Look over here when we had that bigger sell-off. We got the flash crash, we got the test, we got another test, and then we regained. So don't think that it's over just yet. Remember, the only time that we've got the full recovery in the market currently is around that 47.5 level. This is where we're getting that nice closure above. The nice closure is right here. Right around that closure here is what we're looking for, 47,500. I would like it above there. And for Ethereum, we'd want it above 35.50. We maintain the exact same levels we had yesterday. We do not have closures above this zone. So you can see why it could retest these lower areas for sure. We've got Scott Morgan coming in with a big donation here, $20. Says DKNG Tradie Ticks 3-month analysis, please. Three 3 months analysis. All right, we'll look at the tradie ticks data for you. Let me get that out right now. It's going to take me a few seconds here, Scott. And what I would suggest as well, Scott, is message me in Discord after, and I'll provide you the charts you want. DKNG. Okay, so we've got flow. We'll bring flow up for you. And then we'll get your, 1 second. Okay, so we have good algo flow for it, which is nice. And then we need to get our expiring dates. 1 second. All right, here we go. Got the last one coming now. Okay. So there's some interesting things here that we can find on DKNG. So firstly, it's mostly a call bonanza. So we've got calls sitting around that 60, 62, 65, all expiring during the quad witching hour event. So they're all really around that price. Very little puts over the next into the quad witching hour. Overall, the algo flow, so this is the flow coming through Wall Street's basically flow charts and what they're doing and what all the flow is showing is positive. That's in line with the price action. That's good news. You don't want it to be negative. So what I mean is if price is going up and algo flow is going like this, that is not a good sign for DKNG. The next one we've got is, of course, all of the different major kind of difference between the calls and the puts that are coming through. And we can see here 60 is the top strike in terms of price at the moment, 3.79 million. And then we've got 61 and then we've got 63. Now, we have used these options before to trade DKNG because I remember it for you. So we're currently at 65 and we know that this level is heavy next week. So if we're trading up here, look, the price is still good, man. The price is still good. You're going to need longer term options charts to really see if there's something bad going on. But I would think that once you close, if you close above here, this could be incredibly good for you. Even though there's all that other stuff with the options that are all bullish and sitting around that 65, 60, 62 strike. If you close above here, you will continue rallying is my belief because it's a long leg doji rejection week. You know, I like that. And the next level I'd be looking for is actually $72. At that point, what I would hope to see and you should look for is options coming heavily into the DKNG market. I would check it every day. I would make sure there's a bazillion calls coming in. And that's when I say that Wall Street have let it through to the keeper. So that's when you see all the retail traders get heavy onto it and they push it towards those highs. And when it crescendos on something like a hype equity or something like that, you dump a little bit here and scale off. And then, of course, you look for that pullback. Now, the other scenario is you close underneath here, and then all I believe is it's just going to come down to around that 60 zone, 62, and expire next week. So it might hover around this area. Closure above this, I believe it's very bullish. You're looking up here. Closure below, you just go and sit around that 60, 62, and then after next Friday, you should be allowed to resume the trend. Something like that would be what I'm looking for on DKNG. Kunal says, hit the like, boys and girls. Thank you very much, Kunal. Appreciate that very, very much. All right. Let's see if I've got here. Okay, cool. I think I've caught up with everybody. I'll do some more stocks that I've got to do for Super Chat soon. But realistically, I want to go through some more stuff with the market. So VIX is down. If people want to trade VIX, remember, next week could be your week if you want to take it long. We talked and we signaled kind of around that 20 is going to be that resistance zone. It usually is for the VIX. If you like trading volatility VIX, which you probably shouldn't because it's pretty scary to trade. But if you do, if this keeps coming down, it hits around that 16 again, remember into quad witching hour, you will most likely see an uptick in the VIX again. This is the month of volatility. September tends to be that spike. So does October. And they're the months that if you're going to trade the VIX, you might as well trade it during that period of time. So that'll be a very interesting point for us to take a look at. Scott Saunders says producer price index inched up 0.7 from 0.6. Any thoughts on impact on markets? Bleh. Nothing. Waste of time, unfortunately, Scott. It's just whatever. It's whatever. When it's that close, meh. I don't think there'll be an impact from it. The market might move. They might write a newspaper article about it. Who knows? The reality is that is not enough of a change to make a big impact. Also, PPI doesn't tend to be one of those events that I, in normal times, would even bother looking at. Usually what I'm looking at is, again, government spend, the Fed, the bigger picture, and I'll let the price action tell me whether the market really cares about it or not. The algos are too fast nowadays. When the algos get in, they're going to instantly get in on the news. They'll push it each way. And what you're looking for as a trader and an investor is really if you break through a key zone. So if you've recognized the market's trapped, like we have now for quite some time, then if it breaks underneath here, then you know that there's some shorting algorithm coming in, whether that's news or something else, who cares? And if it breaks above, you know that it's breaking long and you should be looking at the long opportunity. Other than that, you're just trading within the range. They're all different. They're all great trading opportunities, but they use different styles. Obviously, in here, you're looking for short, sharp scalps. Once it breaks out, you're looking more for that swing-based trade, day trade. If it breaks down, you're looking for scalps and day trades, because the problem with down markets is you can't really swing them very well in the stock market because we know this tends to happen. Yeah. So remember, if you're a bear, in, out, very, very fast in terms of the scalping, you need to be quick. You can't just, or at least day trading, you can't hold positions for a long time as a bear. It just doesn't work out for you. It does not work out. We will do AMC soon. No worries. Don't worry, guys. Can TDOC start moving already, says Massey? Yeah. Well, it hasn't gone above our resistance, so we can't do much about it, can we? We'll check it out later. Monica Nakamura, $5. Tom, you have been correct on gold, and 2 days ago, you saved me from a bad trade. Shout out to the FX Evolution public trading room on Discord too. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you very much, Monica. I'm glad that you did not make a poor decision in what's been a pretty crappy market, I guess, for gold. It's very, if you're a gold trader, you could be a bit depressed right now. I think, though, if you're not looking at gold, it might be worthwhile setting an 1830 resistance. And then if you ever get an 1830, I'd set it for like 6 months expiry. If you see an 1830 breakout, I think that is going to be a very significant period. You've got two really great profit-taking targets, and I think 1830 is an incredibly key zone on gold. So if you like gold, 1830, 1830, 1830. And if you want to short it, obviously you're looking underneath 1780 to 1760. That's the kind of zones. Absolutely. Thank you very much to the 1,000 people joining us as well. We're about 26 minutes away from the market open. Yes, we're still range bound, but we are up for the session at this point. All right, let's do a stock that I said I would do, which is AGL. This is Australian stock. I will show you when stocks go wrong, because that is AGL. Let's have a look at this. Whoa. Okay, so you would think in a market, this is not a small stock, by the way. It's a big Australian stock. You would think in a market that's bullish that this isn't possible, yeah? Take a look at that, guys. Wow, look at this. All the way down to $6. Would anyone here be tempted to buy this price? Here's the price action over the years. We're at 1996 price. There is a reason why it's this low. Really crappy acquisitions and terrible business strategy. But look at that. Oh my goodness, it's down so much. You cannot buy this thing at these points. You cannot do it to yourself. You need the lightning bolt, guys. You need it to get past the 20 moving average. You need it to form a base like it did here, so you can rip that rally if you need to rip a rally. I remember this rally because I did rip it. If you're going to do this, you need the trough, the peak, the higher trough, or a double bottom, or some potential, respite in what is a hideous downtrend. I don't see that at this stage. I just see a falling knife. So unfortunately with AGL, you might think it's cheap fundamentally. It is. but there's obviously a sickness there the price action is telling us about. And it kind of reminds me of stocks that really end up suffering pretty hard. So yeah, it's a big one, but that is not a cool chart. Not a cool chart. We need turnaround. Nilo says AGL is a buy the dip. And he's like, whoa. Yeah, you don't want to buy the dip. This is when buy the dip goes wrong and average downs go wrong. It's easy to say that you could have just bought the dip on Apple at any point and been successful. True. Absolutely, you would be. Though there was times when Apple was shaky. Remember, during those mid-2000s, early 2000s, there were a couple of dollars a share. And we're talking a couple of dollars a share that went to 800, that split, that went to 300, that split. You know, that's the 500 or whatever it went to the second time. So we are literally looking at something that this is where buy the dip goes wrong. And if you keep averaging down, you will lose all your money. And you don't want to be doing that. It's just a word of warning, I guess, in these kind of stocks. Now, we've got a question about Microsoft as well. So we've got Microsoft here, currently looking to open at 298. This is a very interesting stock because we know it's been incredibly bullish, but we know now it's double topping. Does it get through this 20 moving average? Today, it'll open up green, so it's going to open at 298.42. But if Microsoft gets underneath here, there's a good chance it goes towards this 50 exponential moving average back to 287. It is a trade in itself. Now, shorting against tech is hard, but yeah, that is absolutely a double top. No doubt. We close underneath here today. Underneath is 297. We could be really looking at a bit of a turnaround here in this one. Trishan S says FMG is a better buy. FMG is expensive though. I mean, Rio is also an option. Gareth Evans coming in as a new member. Thank you very much, Gareth. Great to have you here again. Thank you for joining in. I think you've been a member for a while though, Gareth. Not sure. Can you do Sol USD? Yes, we will do that a little bit later. Mark K says, yeah, buy the dip when the trend is up. Mark has just given you guys words of wisdom. I see you, Mark. Absolutely. Microsoft's weighting of the S&P is a 5.9%. Yes. I think Apple's weighting of the Nasdaq, isn't it like 11% or 12%? Can someone get me that? Thank you again, Gareth, for joining the community. Please look at PayPal. We'll do our quick look right now through the stocks. I think I've caught up with everything. So thanks again to the 1,000 people that are joining us here this morning. Thanks for the upvotes, guys. Appreciate everybody here. Let's get into some of these stocks. So we've got Trap Market. We've looked at the cryptos. Let's move over to some of the stocks. So we've got Square. Now, I know this is up today. I don't really like this at all. In fact, this looks bearish to me. And I feel like there could be still some further selling. Now, it may be just a fake bear kind of looking thing, but you got the peak, you got the trough, you got the lower peak, the lower trough has been formed. You got the top, you got the trend line that's broken through. I can't say I'm a fan of this at this stage until we hear news coming out of Square. We actually need news for this trade because we understand it well on this channel. I'm actually looking for it down into this 225, 230 area. Would I short it? No. Would I be looking for that correction? Yes, I would be. Apple closing low here at this stage, 154. So you've got here the movement down. Obviously, today will be up 0.49%, but it still looks like it's moving towards that downside. I'd be actually looking around a 150 here from the technical perspective. So Apple could move further lower. I don't like that so much for by the dip at this stage. Could be wrong, but yeah, that's one that's there. Amazon, another one that looks like, it's coming in okay today, 0.51% up. But until we close above this, 35, let's call it, we need, what is this? 35.50, all right? If we close above 35.50, here we go. Get on board the Amazon train. Let's go towards 3,700. Let's start rallying up to that point. But this point still is our previous resistance, previous support, previous resistance level. So it's not really exactly the zone we want to be at. Not exactly there. Michael DH, $5 says Clover Health, please. Certainly, we'll do that in just a second. There's Amazon. Google. Looking for the 20 moving average pullback still. If you're in it, you got no real reason to be scared. Great uptrend. Great prospects for the future. Snowflake hit 320. For me, that was really my aim. So I guess if you're interested in Snowflake for whatever reason at these prices, you'd be looking for breakthrough, pull back, and then take it long. That would be the way I would play that particular chart. End phase at support, 163 today. So at support, we're looking for a little pull up movement like this, smaller time frame than daily. Look at maybe a 2 hour for lightning bolt purposes. I like end phase, but I don't particularly like buying that support just yet. Let's have a look at Clov. Down 1.83%. Previous resistance. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. Ooh. Okay. It was bad closure yesterday, wasn't it? So it was on support. It rallied. It's come down. Its low is 920. It's currently at 912. Oh, it really needs to turn around, guys. I want to see that thing holding that 920 absolutely today. Otherwise, it's going to be quite bad. It needs to hold. Ideally, it bounces. This zone here, is pretty important for it to hold up. You know that when Clov rallies, it rallies and then it often dumps. This is not one of those diamond hand style stocks. So unfortunately, I think 920 is kind of all it's gotten it. It needs to hold that, bounce off, and you need to see good price action here early in the morning, ideally. Good luck. Let's compare that with the AMC chart. See, AMC looks so much better, guys. I like this. I've liked this now since down here. I like it particularly. Oh, and I didn't really like it there that much, but that was a good breakout. I liked it here. I like it here. And I still like it. I like it towards the $52. I mean, it's good. If I didn't know what that was, and you say you come to me and you say, hey, what do you think of this technical chart? And I'd be like, oh, it's making a series of higher peaks and higher troughs, and it's on a nice trajectory and things look good. I mean, I don't need to know about the valuation. We're trading a chart after all. So, yeah, I mean, it does look good. Do you guys agree? Does the AMC look good at the moment? AMC fam, the apes out there, do you guys like that? Finken79 says, yeah, Clov is a grab at sub 7 and sell into the pumps. When it pumps, this thing is pump and dump. It's a killer. Terrible thing. Have you taken a look at Dell lately? Haven't looked at Dell for quite a while, Paul. Haven't even bought. I have a Dell monitor. What do you guys think about this? AMC, PK Summon says, yes, but I still wouldn't buy it. Hey, there's risks there, PK, for sure. And then Henry Alduro says, AMC with fire. Fire. Yeah, but it does look all right for the P8. I mean, you've got rejections. You got a little bit of a close above. You get through that 49 early here. I mean, this thing's wanting that 52. It wants it bad. But there are risks, as we are well aware of. D__G says, I think AMC is going places. Yes. And Lucian says, we all have Dell monitors. Is that true? I used to buy the big 30-inch ones, and then they were so expensive. They were like $1,800 a monitor or something. I remember. It was crazy. I did love them a lot. Someone says Airbnb is still looking good. I agree. Airbnb looks excellente. Continues its movement up. We had our big red box that we waited patiently for. Every day was a slow. That was the biggest grind fest ever to get up. Then it broke through, and now it's consolidating, and we still have plans. We want 180 Airbnb. That's where we want that thing to go. 180, 178, 180. That would be very, very nice. I would be happy with that one. My Dell monitor is from 2004. Yeah. Well, they made good ones back then. There's no doubt. Let's have a look here. Dell Technologies. Can't say the chart's really enthralling me with buying or selling. It just kind of consolidating. You got resistances at 105-ish and buys at 90 and lots of wicks. This is a weekly, by the way. And this monthly is like long leg doji, rejection candle. 2 month would be another long leg doji, rejection candle. I feel like it's just chilling, getting ready for the next big move, whichever that will be. Kevin N says, AAL, American Airlines testing its 50 DMA. Tom loves airlines. Yeah, I hate the airlines. As you know, airlines suck. They suck. Market's currently looking still at a 0.4% open here. Let's quickly go to the Webull pre-market and have a look what's going on there. We are less than 15 minutes away, so we'll do the rest of our stock look over very, very soon. 3% up for ZS, that's Z Scalar. We've got SE up 2.14%. Be a little bit careful on SE. It does have a offering on it at the moment. Just go read up about that if you're looking at buying it. I technically would want to buy SE a little bit cheaper on price, but it is a great stock. Be aiming that 310, 300 kind of level instead of where it is right now. Square up 1.4% after a pretty torrid day. And on the other side, we've got, of course, a little bit of reds. So let's go through some of the stocks here into the open. What are we up to? RK. Go down to the daily here. For RK holders, you're really looking for that 126 breakout. Still looks okay, but nothing much. ARKG floating in the middle zone of nowhere. Beam 108, looking for it back above that 110 to hopefully complete going up. It is still on the overall trend line. So if you like Beam, it's not the worst price in the world for it right now. Edit, not too good looking chart. CRISPR, middle of the zone, look for a breakout past 128. I'm very keen on seeing CRISPR breach this level. If it does, 140 I think could happen incredibly quickly. And that's like, what, $20 almost. SPLK grinds higher. Nothing changes here. If you've got long-term plans and you like to be boring, SPLK is a massive inverse head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. You guys know that's the distance of the neckline. Beautiful stuff. QCOM, really boring. I mean, this stock is just... I lost faith over here, guys. And then I kind of just chopped it. It had a good seasonal on it, but it just hasn't had that price action strength. So, yeah, I think I might even take it off. There we go. TDOC, looking for this thing above 147, currently trading at 143. Don't really like it until it gets above that zone. Baba, up, down, and all around on the Asian stocks right now. Don't know if I like this that much, but looking for 176 plus. JD on support, 81.95. Not too bad. I don't know about these Chinese stocks. Don't know about these Chinese stocks sometimes. Thank you to the 1,000 people as well joining us. We're 10 minutes away from the market open, so we'll keep coming down. Twilio, meh, Nvidia. Still think the pullback could occur here. I'm really liking that 208, 209 level. I feel like that's quite possible, and then we can move up on that one. Pins, have we got recovery yet? Not yet. Keep looking though every day, guys. You should come back to these types of stocks because look at the gap fill. Look at where the gap is. Look at where its current price is. The gap itself on pins is 30%. 30% gap from current. We have a trough. We have a peak. Obviously, on some time frames, we're going to have it look like that at the moment. We close above, we go to 60, we get above there, we fill the gap. There is trades in the future on these types of things. You know, you got to just be patient and just watch that thing. Roku, still just terrible looking thing. Etsy consolidating above the resistance breakout. You like these ones because if they consolidate for a while, once they explode past this level, you're going to move quickly, I think, up to that 230, 240. They're the zones that you look for. Remember, this range, we're looking for that. One to watch for sure. Etsy is okay. Airbnb is good still. Intel is boring, but still looking at 54.50. Spotify pullback. We're looking right here, 237. That's what we're looking for there. Netflix, long leg doji, stuck in the range. Nothing much. Still in an uptrend. Unity continues towards that 141. Play, boring as. Oh, wait, not boring as. It's up today. Pre-market up. Cool. Finally. 39.27 on the earnings. Nice. So we've got that beautiful range. I don't think I'd buy it off the earnings, guys. But yeah, maybe pullback. 37.43 could be a pickup today. It is a nice channel. If it has to close above. Remember, you need it to close above. You don't want this to be like a rally in the morning, sell off all the way down. It's one of those ones that you would scale into, scale, because it moves up, it comes back down, retests previous resistance as support, and then hopefully rallies into this level. Not bad. 11.46 currently. I don't think it'll be able to hold that level. There'll be people that just hope to be out of it, and they'll take profit and it'll come back down. Interesting zone. NVAX, still think this is fine. It's down 4.66 this morning. Was it 246? 246 is near that trend line. So if you like NVAX, if you like a crazy biotech company, it is on that nice trend line at the moment. Path, this can be scrapped. That's absolutely never closed above our zone. So whatever. PLTR, nice pickup yesterday for people that got that one. I still like this into 27.30, and I'm looking for a 27.30 breakout. I have big alerts set here for further bullish momentum. That would be cool if it happened. Futu, 116.87 would be good. You need a closure above that. That would then have an inverse head and shoulders, and you get through all those moving averages. Not bad from this point here, from a technical perspective. PayPal. Okay. I like PayPal still in the chart quite a lot. It's up 0.41. You guys know I like anything around this 280, 282. Yeah, I'm looking for that thing long. I hope it can go to 310. I'm actually excited more for the earnings. I probably treat this one as a potential trade up until that level, and also a potential investment as well. Currently worth quite a lot though, $337 billion. Let's take a look at Disney. Notice that's been moving the last couple of days. Disney at the top end of the range here. The rally can easily go to 200. Who said that? Trishan S says Diz could have a nice move up to the 200s. I tend to agree with you. Disney could run into the next earnings event call. We've got resistance, 2 wick rejections. So you get a little bit above here. So you see the Friday close here. Should be a nice rally. And then we're looking for that 200 level from a technical perspective. Not bad. Disney should come back on our charts. I have been, looking at this quite a lot off that zone the last couple of days, actually. So let's bring Disney back into the fold. Okay, Twitter. No dice, I feel. If you're in it, you're not really scared because it's at that support. But I wouldn't think that's an extreme buy. 200 daily being almost hit. We'll keep watching. UEC, probably that move's been over. That's uranium miner. We can get rid of that now, but it was a great trade. Thank you very much to the super chatter for that. ONTC. Nothing yet. Looking for that above 470. And I still think 10 cents right on the money, even with the government on them. Previous resistances, support, that was a government interaction. Hopefully that is soon brought back up to the 572. We got Luke Simard, Canadian $5. Tom, you are my morning man. Thank you very much, Luke. Appreciate it. And thank you for the $5. And he says, enjoy your weekend. You enjoy your weekend is great. That would be good. Monica Nakamura says, wow, volume profile shows green skies. Yeah, volume profile is going to show that. A lot of people don't understand that this looks cool, and it looks cool. It sounds awesome, but it's like any indicator. It's okay if you know what you're doing, but it's really just going to. It's like if you didn't know what TA was, you could use volume profiles because you think, oh, why is there so much volume here? Well, it's because it's previous resistance, which is becoming support. So there's going to be a ton of volume traded on that level because you've got resistance and support. You've got interaction. It's like that confirmation that you've got a big brain and you know where to put a key technical analysis level. You know what I mean? It's definitely not rocket science. Definitely not rocket science. Michael DH, $1.99. Is Chewy finding support or down to 65? We'll take a look at that in just a second. And I think we've caught up with the other super chats now. Jonathan Trentwell says, how dare you? The volume profile is an incredibly strong tool. It's a good tool. It's just not as glorious as everybody thinks it is. It's good. I like it a lot. Don't get me wrong. But it's not like the golden egg that will make you a ton of money. It's good. It's like any indicator. If you use it with other reasons, then you're putting it together. Remember, whenever you're trading, you want 3 to 4 separate reasons to be in a trade. And ideally, if you get 3 to 4 separate reasons, then you'll have the opportunity to make, of course, a lot better money. It also can show you participation phases, because if you know this is a heavy level of resistance and support, and you know that there's not much action that goes on between these zones, and maybe there was a lot of volume up here previously, guess what? Between here and here is, as you say, green skies or blue skies. I call them green because they give you profit. Yeah, so it's good in conjunction with what you already should know. Michael DH, $1.99. Is Chewy finding support? Let's have a look at Chewy. It was a good candle for you, yes. That's a bullish hammer with a bit of follow through. That's good. That for a lot of people will be a go signal, at least an initial go signal. Bullish hammer by itself is not that glorious, but it is around that level of support. It also would have had that little bit too low, freaking people out kind of event that occurred here when it went this low. So yeah, I do like this. Certainly does look all right. All right, guys, we're about to open here, so we'll quickly get the 4-screener up. We'll watch Chewy, we'll watch Tesla. We've got US 100 and US 500, 0.5% coming in. US 500, 45.20 is a resistance. And of course, the top end range today, 45.30 for the Nasdaq. We're looking at top end range, 15,675 as the resistance. So if you're looking for kind of where you expect the market to have a little bit of problems, it's going to be there and there. They're the two zones that you're really watching for the session. And of course, session lows like this, right around that 15,000, what is it? 15,550, 45. All right, here we go. Ding, ding, ding. We are open for Friday. Michael DH, that looked better on Chewy. So hopefully it keeps going up for you, sir. Tom, end phase. We did end phase just before. End phase, obviously on support. We hope it turns around, but look at the small time frames to get that lightning bolt, to get that turnaround action that we need. So here's Tesla, 70.61.89. This is good start here for it. Let's see if we can get a new high and then start that ramp. Surely if we get a new high, it has a crack at the 775, 780 today. Come on, baby. Get up there, Tesla. We need to see you in the right level. We'll bring this over. I'll just quickly bring this into a 28 price so you guys can see it a bit better. 761. Chewy opens at 77.37. Another green day. That's not bad. I like the last 2 days here, especially yesterday. I can see why you'd buy at the close there. US 100 still ramping. It's about to hit resistance early in the session. Remember, today is options expiry, so there could be some funny business being played. 0.68% up there on that. And we'll go over here to our Webull scanner, and we can see here SE 2.66%, Zscaler we've got 2.5%, What else? CrowdStrike also up there. Bad side of the world. Twilio still pretty sick stock there. So it's really all about, some of the FANG stocks here. Facebook doing quite well. Here we go. We're about to hit resistance. Tesla has not broken out. Where's AMC? AMC showing a 1.82%, 49.50. Not bad at all. Let's bring that up quickly. Nice. New high. If you're looking at volume profiles, you would notice there's not much volume in here. That's why it's the blue sky above kind of principle. Remember, the next big volume is here. So it's really just showing you great technical levels as well. We'll do a video on it sometime. All right, here we go. We're about to hit that resistance. Lunch Money says Tesla, lots of open interest on 760 calls, should close below 760. Yeah, if I was like a trappee, I would allow it to go through, hit 780, and then bring it back to 760. That would be the cool play. But you are right. The open interest at 760 is insane on Tesla. Check out Yahoo Options and obviously your platform to find out that type of information. Can you have a look at MCD? Yeah, we can check out MCD. Let's have a look at MCD for you. McDonald's Corporation. Not bad at all. As you would say, this is a fairly decent close that could be coming up here. Rejection, gap up 0.76%. Nice consolidation. It could be looking at a break close. If you get above here by the end of the day, I would say it ramps on next week as well. 241.40. Yep. And then your next aim is like a 245. If not, I think new highs. Not bad. Get it above the close here. So we got very close to hitting that high there. 15,670. Check out the QQQ. Likely we will try to fill the gap. There's a gap here now in the middle. Quite a big one. Right on the resistance. So I think there will be a little bit of profit taking there, or at least up at these highs. James Hess says, nice morning session, Tom. Greatly appreciated. No worries, James. Probably need to get it down to a fairly good kind of what you guys want to see. I cover a lot, so I probably cover more than most people do in these sessions. Do you guys like that? Do you prefer that we cover as much as possible, or do you want me to go a little bit slower and just focus on things that are moving that day? Or do you want us just to follow the indices and then a few stocks? I like to bring in whatever's interesting at the time, whether it be crypto, whether it be, of course, commodities or stocks, because ultimately I'm a trader and I prefer to look at what's moving. But if we need to, we can move to whatever the people want. It's not what I want, it's what you guys want. What I want just keeps me interested. Sol US dollar T. Cover more. Joey, I can't cover that much more, bro. I can't cover that much more. I try my best. All right, let's do Sol quickly here for you. You did ask before, and I said I'd do it. All right, Solana. Solana the banana. Bit sick on the 1 hour. Let's go to the 4 hour. I think this is probably having a little bit of matic. And what I mean by that is we got the dead cat bounce and then profit taking happens. And then people go, I'm holding like so much profit here, but I could hold Bitcoin at 46K. I could do that. So I think that's probably the bit of the problem here with Solana. I could see it being a little bit sick. It's moved incredibly. And congratulations to all people that have been in this. But we do have some facts here. Let's look at some TA facts. TA fact number 1. We have probably just completed a change of trend from a smaller time frame. TA fact number 2, we are still realistically holding very close to that 4 hour 20. So let's have a look at the 8 hour 20. Okay, so the 8 hour 20 wasn't really held. It was only held here. So that's where you're going to know bad things are happening if it gets underneath that zone. But let's go to the 2 hour here for a second. So my main problem with Solana is probably going to be this. I'm not going to count over here as a change of trend so much. We've got a peak, we've got a trough, we've got a lower peak here, and we're getting that lower trough session. So if it closes underneath this zone, I feel like it could quite easily sell back off to here. And then all of a sudden, people will move out of this coin and they'll do the standard thing, which is move further into other coins, whether it be a Cardano, a Bitcoin, and Ethereum. I do feel like the heat's coming off Solana. Now, you might totally disagree with me, and that's fine. But this is one of those places that some people choose to scale. Like if you're still in 100%, maybe you would take a third off and you would side invest that third in something else. You know what I mean? Like it's not, I wouldn't buy more Solana here personally. That's just my personal opinion. It's too high. When you have a stock like a crypto going like this, inadvertently, they turn around. And I remember I said yesterday, market capitalization is very high for this one, incredibly high. Hype is real. And it hit $200 as well. So much money. Finken says Sol volume is on a downtrend as well. Yeah, volume would be an important factor to something you want to look at. If volume's going down, even this daily, like that's a hideous daily. Imagine if it backs it up with this bearish candle. You've got effectively a shooting star pin bar at the top and, of course, a bearish looking candle. Not very good. Jam Wit USD says, I got out of Sol at 210, made 10x on it. Profits are good. Got some USDC ready for the dip. So you're going to buy more Sol, Jam, or are you going to go into a different coin? George says, US oil going bonkers. I like US oil to the long. Let's have a look here. Getting close. You can see my little trend line. Yep, there it is through the peaks. Very close for US oil for it really to go heavy. And we'll see how it ends up. AMC craze is on now. Yeah, I don't blame them. I don't blame the AMC peeps. This is incredible. Like, I like that you can see why the price action is the key here, guys. Like, I mean, it's allowing it through to the keeper to the key levels. I believe we've really smashed it out of the ballpark. The community here, we've really done a great job of analyzing this thing over the last week, 2 weeks, actually. I don't know. Do you guys agree? Have we analyzed this pretty well? I feel like we've analyzed it pretty well. And I hope you get a damn $52 today. Today, damn it. We analyzed GME and we decided it was nasty, unfortunately. But AMC, we stuck with this one. And it seems to be paying off. And I don't even talk about short interest because I don't particularly care. I think it's irrelevant, actually. It's only relevant for the stories. We've demonstrated several times everyone's on this train nowadays. Wall Street's on the train. The nasty algos are on the train. Everybody is looking for the profit. AMC rip 50. Yeah, it's pretty good. 50-50 right now. Hopefully it goes to 52. And I'm not even a huge fan of this, obviously the HODL style movement, but I am a fan of great price action, and that's great price action. So I hope it keeps coming through. How's this stupid Tesla going? 757. Really need it to rise above this level here. For it to go well, we rise above here, but I wouldn't be too concerned. Remember, we have an astronomical amount of 760 calls expiring today. And it is always in Wall Street's best interest to expire them worthless. Intel supposedly moving. Let's have a quick look. Intel's a sleeper. Could be the day that actually closes above. You are correct. Intel's a cool inverse head and shoulders. You know, you want to talk about inverse head and shoulders. Look at that. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Obviously, closure above. And there's a lot of action above. You know, you take the distance. This is a very underappreciated, crappy company, some would say. 57.48. Let me have a look at something that I like to do here. I want to keep that one open. Let me go over to the old Amazon.com. Let me search CPU. How do I find top 10, top 100? Bestseller. I still don't know how to use Amazon properly. All right, 1 second here. Let me get this up. Have we got any Intels coming into the Amazon CPUs? Let's have a, all right, here we go. Best sellers. Let's have a look. Oh, it's much better than it used to be. Wow, this is much. Oh, Intel. Hell yeah. Look at this. Looks like I'm buying a hot water bottle, supposedly. But best sellers in CPUs. Check this out, guys. Look at that. So yes, it's all an AMD fest, and then we got some nice Intels. It used to be just like AMD all the way through. I'm actually surprised there's a few Intels in here. Cool, that's good news. Yeah, you need a closure above here. We must close. But look, we're watching it for a reason. It's a sleeper. It has the November seasonal on it. And it's getting through our trend line. I like it. We'll come back to you. No shift in CPU purchases? You sure? I thought that's more CPUs of Intel in the top. Keep looking though, sir, and share me off. Dave, I'm in Intel, he says. Oh, there you go. Disney getting rejected, must close above the zone. Matthew Harris, $5 Australian. Tom, massive love for the stream. Big up to yourself. Thank you very much, Matthew Harris. Appreciate it. You have a great weekend. Deborah Smith said, had Intel for ages. Oh, yeah, this isn't one you want to hodl. Finkin79 says, shortages have saved Intel's ass. That's probably true. But needless to be said, where Intel was during, well, where are we now? So we're this price. So we were this price 30th of March, 2020, and we're still this price, and this thing's been up, down, and all around. It does have percentage gains. I mean, you're talking 6% and around 23%. It's not maybe as fun as other stocks, but it is one of those ones that when it gets ramping, it can do a couple of good days. So AMC looks pretty good today, and hopefully that keeps going for you guys. Intel's looking interesting for the Monday kind of position. What else we got here? NVIDIA's bucking my trend. Etsy could be breaking out here. Pins is up. That's cool. We'll look at that on Monday again if it holds. And in general, I guess the session looks all right. But it is Friday. It is options expiry. And that's what we've always got to be thinking about. Tesla, if it does smash through 760, will be cool. But other than that, we're going to see probably it close under 760 or around that 760. That's where all the options are today. Lou said, why not hodl Intel up 149% since 2014? Yeah, but is that... Let me just have a look here. It's probably not much better than the SP500. And obviously, it gets caned by the Nasdaq. So I guess my problem with Intel is it's a tech-style stock, yet the S&P index almost beat it over that period. And then on top of that, the Nasdaq slaughtered it. It ate it alive for breakfast. And it technically is tech. So I guess that's my main problem with it. They've had a history of underperformance. And these chip manufacturers, there's just so many chips. And we're seeing, of course, all of these people like Apple and stuff moving into making their own chips. And I think that's going to be a big thing in the future. Wouldn't be even surprised if a few others do it. All right, guys, look, I want to say thank you so much for the support today. I also want to say thank you so much for the support of the community, obviously what we do here on the channel and everything else. If you are interested, we have opened up our private group mentoring as well over on fxevolution.com. You can check it out. We just launched it then. Spots are, of course, partially limited. If you want to pick our brains on everything to do with stocks, options, big actionable data, and everything else that we really use across the board, then you can check that out. Otherwise, all good. We'll see you on the weekend. And of course, we will also see you Monday for the live streams. I'm looking super forward to it. It's going to be great. Mama says, at Tom, I said and forget, and just now I had an order filled. Very good. That's awesome, Mama. LOL, FX Evolution training is the bomb. There you go, guys. Thank you very much. Look, I'm glad some of you guys are doing well. The main aspect here is that if you all do better, then really we're training together a lifelong skill that you can put towards making better investment decisions for your family, for yourself. And obviously, some people also aren't cracked out for trading. Sometimes I'll be there, and I've said it to people in the past. I'm like, you know what? You can't do it because you've got some kind of gambling mentality and you are going to lose. And those people, they need to be told it. If anything, I save them money by yelling at them on the way out. But you know what I mean? It's most people can do it. There are some cases, though, where they're lost. It is not possible. Thank you so much, guys. We'll catch you on the session. And obviously, if you're a crypto trader, have a great weekend. I'll set some alerts myself. It could be a good one. Bye for now. Dim Sum just quickly says, which trading class should I start with? Ultimate masterclass, man, for sure. I probably wouldn't necessarily do the mentoring unless you thought you were advanced. Yeah, I would suggest you do the ultimate masterclass first. Otherwise, you might not have like the basics. All right, catch everyone. Bye for now.